Hello everyone, FTDZMMAY here, back with some more BTD6. One tower buff that took a bit of a while to kind of try out, but I think it might be a bit exciting. Let's see how it goes. Is the Bloon solver. If you missed the 35.0 patch notes, although the update's been out for a while, so I don't know how you would have, but anyways, if you saw them, you would have seen Bloon solver did get a pretty significant buff, in my opinion. Basically, what they did was they made it so that way it now drops puddles every time a balloon pops. Basically, this has 1 pierce and 20 damage, I believe, so not really sure how much of a difference it's going to make considering it only has 1 pierce, which is kind of low, but I mean, who knows, 20 damage does sound pretty good, so I decided to go over onto kind of Spice Island ships to see how good this buff will kind of be in a normal game of chimps. I brought Etienne as my hero because I figured why not. So it could be around 9. Buy twin guns. I did want to save for Etienne, but I guess it's kind of fine right now. Not really sure what I kind of want to do for this thing is, you know, saving it for Bloon Solver is going to be the hard part simply because I do want to go 402 for kind of Dissolver and Liquefier. Simply just because that would lead into a better late game. As Bloon Solver, you want the 502 kind of cross path, but for kind of mid game stuff, you know, 402 and 302 is kind of a bit difficult to use, but I do believe they increased the pierce of Liquefier by 1, so I think that should help out a bit, maybe. Not really too sure. Don't really kind of use top path glue just because I don't really think it's really all that useful. Gonna see if this new buff kind of makes it so. I think I'll put Etienne, I don't know, right here. And then I guess I'll put my glue like here-ish, I guess would be a thing. Not really sure what I want to do for kind of late game. I think maybe mid-game, if I can afford Dissolver by, or not Dissolver, Solver by 63, I think I should be fine. I'm not really sure what I kind of want to do after that. I think I'll just honestly hold on to cash and see where I can invest that money into. So early game is just going to be the standard 202 that you kind of see in pretty much every game of chimps. Also, round 15 was a bit scary. I don't think I'll buy Intel just for that way range on the Dart Monkey as well. So that way this guy can hit up front. Brought Etienne just because, again, like I said, I don't really know why. Or maybe Geraldo would have been better here, but I don't really feel like Geraldo kind of really buffs glue. He's kind of one tile that really isn't kind of buffed too much, because the really only thing is like Jerry's fire. You can't really make benefit of the sharpening stone, so I guess there's that. Alrighty, Airburst has been acquired, so I think I'll go for glue now, and I guess I'll get it like here-ish. I could always go for Pirate Lord because, you know, that's always pretty good, but I mean, I wouldn't go to Pirate Lord kind of a lot, but I was thinking maybe a tower that could leave a lot of cerams, that just kind of does good mob damage but leaves a lot of cerams, so I'm thinking maybe MAD could be pretty fun. The only issue is that saving up for MAD is going to be a bit of a tall task, but anyways, let me go for my glue upgrades now, because why not? Also, 28 is going to be annoying. I just realized I screwed myself over for that round, but I think I should be fine. I don't think I get Dissolver up in time, but I do have Etienne's drones, which is pretty fine. Alright, let me get you on strong, and then I need to use the drones as soon as the leads get in range. I'll use it now. And then we should be fine here. 30 should be a similar story. I don't think we actually needed the drones there, but better to be safe than sorry. So hopefully I don't end up regretting my decision. Yeah, I think we're kind of fine. I think the leads are more spaced this round, which should hopefully be a bit easier. Alright, Dissolver up now, and then for 40, again, hopefully drones is going to be enough. If not, I'm not really too sure. We just gonna have to pop it before this guy, because this guy can take care of the insides, I believe. I'm hoping it has more than enough pierce, but who knows. Let me get you one first instead of strong. If not, I'll just hold on to the cash for now and see if we need to buy something like Dribble Guns or if we need to go for like Alp buff. Actually, seems around 36 is pretty hard. If I restart it, I don't think it's going to be the same. Also, Etienne, are you good there? Seem to almost sold yourself, but yeah, I think I'll just go for Dribble Guns. Because why not? And that's a weird bug there. And it seems that even with Dribble Guns, it seems that round 36 is still barely beatable. If I have the ability up by the time the last wave comes in, I think we should be fine, but it seems I don't. I think I should be fine here, maybe. Unfortunately, glue is just so bad for the early game, and it seems like even with that, it still seems like it's not enough. I could honestly go for Alchemist, which I think maybe won't be a bad idea. And Etienne is still having problems there. He's like selling himself. Hopefully this is closer to the sub than it is to Eti. Because alch buffing Etienne's not going to help. There we go. It is closer. As you can see, one alch buff absolutely demolishes around 36. There's a reason why this path is the best in the game. Anyways, I'm just going to hold on to my cash now. I think we should be fine for the Moab. If I can get the liquefier kind of maybe as soon as possible. If I can hold off with just like a 202 and maybe like a 320 until I get the solver, that would be ideal, but I kind of doubt it. Alright, round 40 is coming in. I'm just going to use Etienne's drones immediately. And that's, wow, 2 red balloons. Very sad. But it seems we're almost there. We have 4k to spend. I mean, I can see if it was like a fluke. Ideally, I don't really want to spend any money because I am pretty close to liquefier. Although I am kind of curious to see if liquefier would even help out too much. Yeah, it seems that it was just a fluke. Now we have the UCAV ability, so now all my monkeys can now see camo just in time for round 42. I think round 42 has camo rainbows, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, let's grab a liquefier. And then I don't think we can hold off with just this. I think we still need more, so I guess I'll get trip guns. And then I'll hold on to the cash to see if we can actually save straight up for solver, which is only like $23,000. Pretty cheap tier 5. So hopefully we can actually save up for that. But it seems that even like general balloons like ceramics are going to be a bit of an issue. So it seems like we're going to have to rely on Etienne's drones as well as level 10 when we get that up for kind of mid-game help until we can actually get to solver. Round 47 using drones here. I didn't use it in time. Seems we got to restart here. I'm going to use drones immediately for the ceramics. They're a bit scary, which is a strange sentence to say, seeing as you got this guy, but we do have the worst cross path, so I guess that is a bit of an issue there. So it seems like even with just kind of mid-game, I don't really know if this solver buff is going to be helpful, just because I feel like it's kind of the tier 4 and tier 3 that really needs support more than anything. Just because the huge cross-pathing dilemma that kind of gets brought up when you're using solver. You do want 502 just because solver shoots so fast that the extra pierce isn't really necessary, and so you'd want the acid to last longer and slow down balloons even more. But with the tier 3 and tier 4, you want the pierce crosspath because like they only have 1 pierce. But I think liquefier, I think it did get buffed to have 1 more pierce, but even so, 1 extra pierce isn't really a whole lot, as it can't even handle 49 here. Do we have to spend money? Because I could buy a tier 4, which I think I just will do straight up. Have it last longer. It's only going to be useful just for the... It's really only going to be useful just for the sub, but who knows. And even with tier 4, it seems that still isn't actually enough. If I remove this for 1,000 and buy tier 4, is that any better? Also, Etienne is really wigging out there. I guess I could use drones maybe now. Let's see how this goes. Do we have a thing? I'll get you on strong, maybe catch ceramics, and that seems to be fine. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, I'm not really sure if the solver buff is really gonna help it, just because even with early mid-game stuff, this guy is almost a dead weight right here. And I'm just really relying on the alch sub for early game. We're only like 10k away, so if I can beat the next couple of rounds, I can get in time. Use drones there for the ceramics, as we aren't too good against that. Camo ceramics this round shouldn't be too much of an issue, hopefully. They are pretty spaced, which does give sub enough time to break them down. Rainbow is no issue. I think we can save for kind of solver straight up here. How close is Etienne to 10? I mean, it's pretty close. I'm actually going to use drones here because 2 mobs and ceramics are going to be a bit scary. And that's pretty close. If I can beat this without spending any money, that'd be ideal. So let me get you on strong. And then, I don't really know, maybe divide and conquer, or first maybe. So I can just time the abilities maybe a bit better. Or I'd have to use it like as soon as it's up. So I think just maybe having on first maybe would be best. That barely works. I don't think it's gonna work for this next mob here. No, no, it actually works. What do you know? Nice snipe by the submarine. And so the next few rounds aren't really too difficult. 55 is gonna be a tough round though. Don't know what I want to do for that. If we can afford solver in time, it'd be easy 55. Use drones for the cerams here, and we're fine. The 2 mobs this round are going to be a bit annoying. If I can get UCAV up, I think we should be fine. We're so close to solver, I really don't want to spend any cash here. If I can just stall Or if I can just stall long enough in order to get UCAV up, I think we're fine. I kind of have to use this immediately just so that way I can hold off the Cerams for as long as possible. Because once the Moab comes in, that's going to be the real threat here. If I could have just gotten a shot on the Moab from this guy, I think that maybe would help out a bit. But we are pretty close to Solver though. And it's just blues this time. This round's going to be a bit annoying to optimize. Alright, so let me get you... Yeah, keep you in first. Maybe switch you to Divine and Conquer. If I can just use this as late as possible, I think maybe that would help out a bit. Who knows? And get you on strong. The Moab actually did get glued, which is nice, but I don't know if that will help out too much. Can you catch Cerams? No. Alright, seems like I can actually pass this round without spending money on something, but what is the cheapest thing I can spend on? Glue. I can turn this into a Moab glue later, but for now, I can just turn this into that. Gonna be real cheap here, but if you could just slow down all Cerams, I think that maybe would give enough time for the Moabs to not be an issue, as well as to give time for UCAP to come up. So hopefully just this one glue can help out. Seems that the answer is no, but it's almost there. Alright, let's focus on the Moab just to get as many laser shock stacks on it as possible. And then, alright, we got that. Now UCAP comes up pretty soon. If I can just fire it off, we win. Never mind that, we don't actually need it, which is good because I think I will need UCAP for this round. Do I need it for the first wave? I'll use it now. Hopefully it'll be up for kind of all the waves, which it sure is. Alrighty. Pretty easy 55. And we should be able to afford Solver here pretty soon, which once we do, it's going to be a absolutely free mid game. The only hard part about this is just going to be early to mid game. Because Liquefier and Dissolver are just absolutely awful stepping stones. Hopefully we can actually clutch up this here. Barely. I'll use drones as it's looking pretty scary before we actually get Solver. Come on, get the yellow. Thank you. The intel for the Darling is coming in clutch here, and Solver afforded app sometime now. Now we kind of slip back and relax, and then see how much money we can actually get by round 80. And as you can see, it's dropping glue puddles here. So hopefully that buff can hopefully make Solver maybe just a bit more, I don't know, I guess reliable, I wouldn't really say. Just a bit stronger for kind of the late game. Alrighty, round 80 is rolling along. Super Ceramics is about to pop in at any time now, which I guess is where Solver will shine at. We're about, what, $34,000 away from, actually a little less than 30k away from MED. Let me see if I can beat this without UCAV. Let's see if I can just beat this with maybe something like a Rocket Storm, which I guess I'll use maybe when it pops down to BFBs, like maybe now-ish. Yep, easy. Right, hopefully we'll have enough Moab damage for this. I guess maybe Etienne can be on, I don't know, Divide Conquer. I don't even know the difference between all these targetings if I'm being completely honest. Let's see how these Solver puddles gonna come in. See if that 20 damage puddle can actually do something against late game BFBs. If not, I'll be a bit disappointed. Let's use Rocket Storm now. Alrighty. As long as I get MAD up before round 80, that's not round 80, round 90. That's probably gonna be a good test to just help out against DTs. I mean, let's use Rocket Storm kind of now. I'll use this just because fortified BFBs may take a lot. I don't really want to use UCAV. Not really sure when I want to use it, if I'm being honest. And I think I might have used Rocket Storm just a bit early. But it seems that Moabs are getting pretty demolished once they hit the puddles. Alrighty there. 83 should hopefully be no issue. If the long line of Moabs, I believe, that come this round, I can just Rocket Storm them. I believe that will help out a bit. It seems that no Rocket Storm is actually needed. How many pops does all have? Not bad, not bad. It is doing decent work. I think the hard part about this guy is definitely saving up for him in the first place, just because that tier 3 and 4, man, not the best. BFBs, are they going to be an issue? No. It seems that Solver is now a pretty good late game BFB demolisher. Just kind of low HP blimps is where it shines at. Let's see how it does against 85 with some bit support. Does have 2 ZOMGs coming this round. I'm actually going to use UCAV just because mob damage is going to be what I need here. If I have to use UCAV, I will, just because I don't think 86 should be too much of an issue. And I'll use Rocket Storm now-ish. And then this ZOMG is going to be, I'm going to use UCAV. I think I have to. And I almost died there. Let's see. This round hopefully should be no issue. FBFBs hopefully get demolished by Solver. I am pretty close to affording the MAD. So that way Solver can now just kind of focus on Cerams, which is where it does shine at, if it can actually pop these down. Alrighty. Yeah, Solver's pretty good late game BFB demolisher. Is it worth spending the money and time on it? I don't know. Let's see how it does against 87. We have 4 fortified ZOMGs this time. 4 times the amount on 80 and twice the amount on 85. I think I will have to use UCAV here, which I will use it now, just to pop down these ZOMGs hopefully. And I'll use Drone Swarm, and then I'll use Rocket Storm now. And then I should have MAD up by like 88. And then, yeah, in the middle of 88 we can afford this. Alright, MAD gotten. Now all we have to do is kind of worry about Ceram damage, which Solver will hopefully kind of cover up. I'm actually going to lock this guy in place just because I think I don't actually need to micro this guy for the rest of the game. And so what do I want next? I don't even know. I think Mad just kind of solos the rest if I'm being honest. So I guess I'll get maybe Alk buff just to increase the attack speed. I don't know, maybe go for a Village just to increase attack speed even further. We give this guy Jungle Drums buffs. I also didn't even buff this guy at all, but I'm not really sure if Solver buffs are kind of even worth it. I think the buffs are mainly for like tier 4 help, if I'm being honest, just because the extra Pierce from primary training would be pretty good. But I guess in the spirit of the video, I will give it some primary buffs. Give it primary training. Primary mentoring is just increased radius or increased range, but I don't really think that's going to be useful. And I think it can just straight up AFK until the rest of the game. Mad's pretty good, as well as combined with Solver, and yeah, Solver and Mad's a pretty good combo. I don't think the 2TC is actually doable just because Solver can't see camo, so late game Super Cerams would be a problem. Or like late game camo Super Cerams, which is what DT spawn. This round again is no issue with MAD. And Solver can just clean the rest up. Alrighty, 98 might be a bit of an issue, but who knows? I don't think it will, just because I don't think Solver is going to actually get Pierce capped. I think that's kind of the worry thing about it, is getting Pierce capped. Solver can demolish the fortified BFBs that spawn. And it seems that 98 is again no issue. 99 is also going to be no issue, as well as kind of around 100. So yeah, that was it. My thoughts on the Solver buffs, I don't know if it's actually enough to actually make it viable. I still think it is pretty meh, just because the tier 3 and tier 4 I think do need some support, just because the crosspathing dilemma really kind of hurts it more than anything, if I'm being completely honest. I think that's the real issue here, is the crosspathing dilemma, and to be honest, I'm not really sure. Like, there are cheaper options when it comes to Superstorm and cleanup, mainly being like spiked balls and downdraft and 012, you know, in Arctic Wind and all that stuff. There's so many cheaper options to clean up Superstorm, because I don't really know if it's worth investing like, you know, $20-something thousand specifically for Superstorm cleanup, when kind of spiked balls and Arctic Wind and all that do that job for cheaper. Yes, this guy is pretty good at kind of cleaning up late game BFBs and Moabs, but I mean, you know, do you really want to invest like $20,000 in a tower just for that, when there are other towers that can do that again for cheaper or the same cost, or be just a bit more effective in general? So I guess that's questions that you're gonna have to answer, and I guess if it pertains to your playstyle, then I guess the answer would be yes. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, you know, like, comment, subscribe, join Discord, link is down below in the description, and have a nice day.